Hello, my name is Zinita Masego. I am a Business Development Officer at the Sibande Center for Entrepreneurship Rapid Incubator. We are based in Ivenda in Mpumalanga. So today we'll be continuing with our discussion with our incubatees. As a business incubator, we've got a cohort of incubatees that we support for a period of 3 years. Now, sitting with me here today at the incubator, I've got our incubatees here. Some of them are in the pre-incubation stage, meaning that they are still starting up and then they haven't reached a certain turnover to actually qualify them to be in incubation. And then we do have some of them that are in the incubation stage. So what makes them different, it would be the type of support that they would get from the incubator and then the duration as well that they can be within the incubation program. Now, we have had certain discussions on different topics. We actually opened it up so that they can actually voice their challenges and not be maybe limited to a certain topic. Now, our findings here were mainly on the human resources in the small business. So maybe at times now what would differ is where you guys are already having problems that are, or challenges rather, that are different from a person that's still thinking of starting up. For instance, when you're still thinking of starting up a business, the challenges that you'd have would be, where do I go for funding? Who do I get to advise me? So lucky for them, they already have access to mentors, business advisors, they have been trained, and then now capital is no longer an issue. But then for you who wants to start a business, that is a different story. There are challenges that they are facing on a day-to-day basis now have actually evolved from just those basic funding, polish my idea, how do I pitch? But then now the challenges that they actually voices out today was, I have employed. I've got employees, my business has started to grow, I'm scaling up, but then now I have employed, for instance, now I've got 5 employees within my business. Now, I have a challenge on how do I retain those employees? Which information do I share with my employees? How do I make sure that my business is safe when I am not there? For instance, you guys are sitting here now, but your businesses are still operating, sales are still coming in, but then how do you track all of those sales seated here? So we spoke also about business systems. That systems are there to actually ensure that your business runs, whether you are there or not, but basically you can still track what was happening in your absentia. So that was another topic that we actually discussed. We also discussed the issue of coronavirus, the pandemic. Yes, some businesses actually failed. They actually closed down. People were actually, they had to cut down on the employees. But fortunately for them seated here, their businesses are still operational. They managed to survive that period. Basically the lockdown, those 3 stages of lockdown, from level 5 down to 3. Now we're on level 1, but then your businesses are still there. Yes, maybe they have been you have been affected in certain areas, but then at least you didn't shut down, you didn't cut down on any employees. Anyway, some of you guys are actually looking into actually adding more employees instead. But then now I think to continue from what we discussed, I'd like to still get some views from you guys in terms of the surviving the pandemic. How did you guys, what happened? Did you guys actually have to go into your savings to make sure that you retain and pay those employees? Or did you have access to the COVID relief fund? So maybe you could just tell me about it, that who actually got that fund?
In our company, on the first 3 weeks, we were all flat down. If you can see on our turnover, April, we were on 0. So we lost literally the business. Yeah, but then we opened up after April. So at that time, I actually paid my employees and myself from the retained income of the company.
Okay.
And then now there was an announcement of the COVID relief fund. And then that's when we applied. So it was a struggle. Remember, now you're working from home. And then you don't have access to that internet that you've got at your office. And then now you're also scared about, hey, if I go out, I might die of corona. So you don't know what to do, right? And but then we still managed to apply for the SMME relief fund, which we didn't get. And then we also applied for the one in NYDA. There was another 10,000 rand that we applied for, which we were pre-approved. And then later on, we were rejected because they said there was a thirst ratio of, I think it was 75,000 rand turnover. So we couldn't get that one. But we were referred to apply through UIF. Then we started applying for UIF. Then we were getting paid on a monthly basis.
Oh, so during the pandemic, your employees actually claimed their UIF?
Yeah, I claimed on their behalf and then paid them. Yeah. So that's how we
So it was a big problem because I had to be innovative. Because uvala center and my machine were in the center. It was a big problem. Luckily, okay, we now must be making. So I had to be innovative. Then instead of allowing ILO income go to e-business account, I tried to reach my employees in order for me to babadala. Masenza my job because makala COVID. Abantu sebahlele emakhaya abanye sebakhona ukubona ukuthi la kama kukho safe enough amabhatla ayashota like yeah, then we're starting to get some calls amabhatla like abantu bayawaring safety yabo. So ngaloko ke ngesengisebenza ukuthi my employees they are paid to pay lo msebenzi esiwenzile ngalelo lama umsebenzi ngishaya esandleni. Then yeah, that's how I survived and save eceleni. After ke kusokuphela ngama strict lockdown, I was able to know since ilo say economy ivuleka, so then Congress is deposited that amount level say vekile mara veki more personal account and back to business. Yeah, I think like 57 billion they were supposed to tell us they were going to tell us if everything then allow us to start to so make you see.
So okay, no, tell me with the 57 billion, oh my word, 570 billion. Like how much of it would you have applied for? That share, how much would you have needed to make sure that you would have survived that period?
At least the 250,000 we needed.
250,000.
For my business, 75,000 was going to be enough because, like, I was only worrying employees because okay, operator no, I won't be operating. But just to maintain my employees, like a machine so it was 75 basically right. But
Chilanu, you know when how much?
I mean, when this thing hit, I wasn't registered, so when I told you, I understand because I only registered after level 3. And
oh, you were trading informally, I remember.
I was at this Spaza shop at the time, so when I wasn't gonna get anything from that fund.
Yeah.
That's right, but also what we realized is when it comes to the 170 billion, that government helped a lot of entrepreneurs to give access. Well, sitting here, the entrepreneurs that they've applied, they didn't get any ready fund. But so you know, in our case, other entrepreneurs applied. They through CIFA, through small business, and they got pre-approved. And when the payment had to go through, someone came back to us and said that they said the coffers is dry, they don't have money, but they had approved them. I'd say it's very difficult what the entrepreneurs had to go through, and also not only the entrepreneurs, but I must also say the economy of the country as a whole. The whole economy of the country. So, and it's sad what we see today when we read in the news what was happening with the that is meant to help these entrepreneurs, and it's corruption has taken its place. And we are happy that we are seeing arrests happening and government is trying to reclaiming that particular money because that money is meant to help these particular entrepreneurs. And yeah, it's one of those things. Corona made some rich, made some poor.
Yeah, the COVID PPE and all that stuff. There was a lot of corruption.
According to when implement before even applying money.
The system was bad from the get-go because when this thing hit, I was still employed. So we were supposed to my company, they're supposed to apply for the fund and then pay the employees. And then what happened when that was said, and then they changed the system, and then they said, no, now employees have to go apply for themselves. And we understand during this time, everyone is rushing to go there. There was long lines and everything, and then some people actually went to apply, but they never got the money. So I understand you're sitting at home for this period, and then no work, no pay.
Yeah.
You're supposed to get paid from the UIF, and then the UIF is not coming through. So I don't know how many people went through the same problems, but then this 570 billion is a myth as far as I'm
It's a
concerned.
myth, honestly.
Listen, when you are here, you're still starting. Maybe you were not affected by it, but then in this regard, you are still going to go out and source funding. What are the frustrations that you are getting now? I mean, they've been frustrated with the COVID relief fund, but maybe you were not still in business at that time. But right now, is your business actually in a process of finding finance, sourcing?
Oh yes, we are in that process, as I've already applied in NYD for a grant to sustain my business as I'm still starting up my business. But looking to the experience that my fellow entrepreneurs have went through, it really built me a lot. It's really building me a lot because it takes courage to be in business. So looking to what you guys have faced, and maybe in future it can happen again, but I don't think it will, because even if it happens, at least I'm having some experience. I've learned from what you have experienced.
You won't be as frustrated.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, hopefully she won't, because it's really frustrating, honestly. Because even the UIF, yes, we got it, but then we had to wait for some time for the money to.
And I heard that some of them had to reapply, some were unsuccessful.
They were applying every month. They were changing the system. Like I think the system for the first 2 or 3 months, when you log into the system, there was something that changed.
Okay.
Yes, I think that the first one, when we applied, because other employers applied on behalf of the employees, but they didn't pay them. Now they had to change the system again, where you have to upload the proof of payment that you've actually paid the person. And then which we did, and then we got, but the payments were getting in very late. So if we didn't retain any money in the business that time, that means I would have been getting paid in about 10, in about 12, you understand, because they were very late, the payments. So what we would do, we would pay on the normal date that we are paying, and then we've already put the application, and then they pay in later, and then that goes in for the other month. So that's how we did it. So yeah, but then the 570 billion, we were pre-approved, and then we were told that we had to prioritize other companies. So I was not sure, are we a company or are we not? Because we were supposed to get, because we were actually affected by COVID. If it was not COVID, we would not have been closed down for that month, because we were on zero income. And then now we applied for the funding. They tell us they prioritize other companies, which
It's quite unfortunate.
Yeah, it's so.
I think another thing that is just that I just realized, that the space that you are in, you are saying that you were in the training and development space, and then now one of I think for you to expand, you ventured into mining. And we are in Mpumalanga, seated here. I think we are surrounded by over 50 mines in Evander. Just an event, I don't want to count Emalahleni because I know there's just more, but just within our catchment here, there's a lot of mines, and then there's a major industry, which is Sasso. Now, the space that you find yourself in, it's highly male-dominated. And also white supremacy as well. But then you guys, how are you guys coping? I think from you, I'd like Timothy to come in, because he has had some challenges as well, especially with the white supremacy. You'd share your experience as well, because that's quite unfortunate. That is what is happening. And we're not going to sugarcoat things, but then it's just, we need to make you guys aware that, coming into business, these are things you're going to go through. So now you have ventured into mining.
Yeah, which is a very,
male-dominated. But how are you coping as a woman?
I'm telling you, it's not easy. It's not easy as a woman to dominate in that space, because mostly it's male that are competing in that space. And then when you have to come there and convince them that I can do this thing. So if you don't have evidence to show that you are doing it and you're doing it perfectly, and then you are not actually recognized as Uti, you can actually do this thing. So that's when, like I said, that's when I brought Patin in.
Also, you got a support.
I had to bring in Patin to go with. Then what I do, I give an overall of the company and the idea and what we're doing, and then he comes in on the technical side of things.
So you mean like the space, to cut you off there, so you still feel that the space is not yet as open, because you still had to get support from a male to just push you as a woman.
Yes, into the engineering and the mining space. Yeah, so you have to bring a male with.
So, but then what do you feel should be done differently for women to actually start playing in the male-dominated sectors?
I think it's just a matter of you trusting your product. It's a matter of you trusting that you can do this thing, because I'm pushing it, and currently this engineering and mining is the one that's dominating the income currently, because I never gave up. It's really frustrating because you have to sit there and try to make these people believe you that I can do this thing, you know, and it's very frustrating. Sometimes they don't even want to listen to you, but I kept on pushing and pumping in. And then when I see that, okay, I need to have a male to come with, I would bring some. They wouldn't even need them to be there because they're now starting to adapt that we need to get more women involved.
But then how did you develop yourself as a woman to be able to engage, you know, with the males in that
I
space?
think to be physically involved, that actually helps.
So you put on the boots, the overall, you are in.
Yes, my dear. When I go there, you should see. I get so dirty and everything. I'm on my boots, on my overalls. Then I get fit. Because if you can see, even at the workshop, I don't just neglect them. They are working, and I would pop in and make sure that I see what's happening so that I can answer. Because sometimes, even if I'm with Patin, and then I don't have to look like, no, she doesn't have an idea what she's talking about. Now I can tell.
Before you contribute.
Yes. We are repairing the Excels. And then now what happens from stage one when we are dismantling, what is it that we're fixing, what is it that, because I had no idea when we started, we were actually outsourcing that service to a provider that has been doing it for years.
Out of the province.
Out of the province in Gauteng. So, and then that's when we decided, no. There's people local, there's this skill local that knows how to do this. And then I brought in those people. So we are doing it here. So now it's cheaper, it's quicker, and then we are making more money. So, but being physically involved is also helpful because now you are able to answer. When they say, hey, there's no quality there, then I'm able to answer.
Do you know what happens in the process?
I know what happened in the process, yes.
Timothy, I know you are also in the metal fabrication sector, and then you actually outsource most of the raw material that you use to manufacture them. So, but basically, I know you've had a certain experiences. Maybe care to share your experience?
Yeah, but on my side, it's not like on the customer side, it's on the supply side. Yes, there's this company, CNC. I used to buy steel from the company, a lot of steel. Like every week, I will be popping in like now and then. Then suddenly, they approached me and asked me, what is it that I'm using for this steel? Okay. I thought maybe those people came in as customers then. I teach them what I was manufacturing and stuff. After that, a week after that, I went there to buy steel. Only to see that the steel was on the shelf, but they told me it was an order. Yeah, there's somebody who already bought that steel.
So you know you don't want to say.
Yeah, immediately I said back, okay, luckily I met the other guy who also and I can't say he's an employee or somebody who's familiar with the company.
Sure.
He said, no, just go to the dealer, pay for the steel, then show them the invoice, then they will give you that steel. You don't have to go back. I went there and take this and pay for that steel, and there was no longer that.
Also, it was sold to you.
It was sold to me.
It's no
then
longer
after that, they stopped buying that steel, of which now I'm having a problem. I have to go buying jaw work, springs. Yeah, just because what I'm seeing from all of this, it's just that company is white dominated.
White dominated and owned.
Yeah, owned.
Okay.
So they did their best that they want to just destroy me.
Yeah.
So now, do you guys think in the space that you guys operate in, do you think that color matters in terms of you being as an entry as a barrier to entry? So if you think if you are black, the possibility of you entering into that space is it limited just because you are black, or is it because you are youth, or because you are a woman? And
you know, with me, I think it matters a lot because now you find yourself I'm starting out and then I haven't received any funding. So the problem is, it's like you were saying, what Rebecca was saying, you must use other people's money to grow your business. So now I depend on the deposit that people have to pay for me to buy the raw materials. But now because I'm black and I'm young, they feel maybe, no, this one is going to rip us off or something. So a lot of my clients are white. It's mostly whites and Indians. So fortunately enough, there's people that trust me enough. I don't know, maybe when you send an invoice and then they check the invoice, they see, no, he's registered and then he's running a business legit and everything. And then maybe, whatever I got to lose, then they pay it in and then you see. But then I think most of them, they will tell you that, no, we want this, but we want to do it COD. So because before you start the job, you need the money to go get all the raw materials. And now, sometimes I have some of the money to buy the raw materials, but I don't have the money to buy everything. And then I buy what I can buy, then I go there. Now you find myself, I have to go do a job that I was supposed to do in a day. I have to go there for 3 days because now I bought the material, I went there, I did what I did, and then because they see now that is here, then only then they pay the deposit. Now I have to go back, buy material and go back again, and to find that if they pay the deposit, I was going to buy everything at once, go there, do the job, finish and go home.
So, but also, sorry to just cut you off, Timothy. I know, like, for instance, there are certain companies where they actually demand 50% deposit prior to them actually doing the job. So in that case, you're actually having a challenge with the people or some of your customers, they do not pay.
No, they don't. They want to do cash on delivery.
Irregardless if that you request. No, before I can...
My invoice states at the bottom and the quotation that before you're going to start with the job, when you're required this, then they tell you straight, no, we can't pay you that. And then you ask why, then it's trust issues. There's a lot of scammers out there. There's this happening, there's that happening. See, so that's the issue. So for me, it's maybe because it's a black-owned company and then they don't have that confidence, or I don't know, but then that's how it feels like to me.
I think it's like that because with the mine as well, previously, before it's pen, it was Harmony. They used to give like the 50% upfront payment for you to do the work. But currently, even if we put the term as 50% or deposit and upon delivery the other 50%, it's not been done. So you deliver and then you pay. So basically, when we started, we were struggling because you would get the order. Now you're sitting with the order, you don't have money to do the work. So now you have to source for people to borrow you, or you need the funders to assist, and you're struggling to get that. And then but you are pushing that now I need to deliver my work. So it's very challenging. I think it's because we are taking like we are black, we are not trusted. So it's very challenging.
Yeah, it could be maybe they're trying to open up the market for people, because I see a lot of companies that as long as you have the purchase order, then we'll fund you. So I don't know, maybe they're trying to open up the market for that, or do something like, I don't know, but then for me, that's how it feels like. Because there's companies that tell you that, okay, you need 100,000 rands, show us the purchase order, and then we'll give you the money, and then when you get paid, then you'll pay us.
With interest?
With interest,
with
yeah.
interest, yes.
With interest, yes. So maybe they will open up the market for that.
On my side, I think the yellow terminates because like last time, I was so frustrated. I came to the office that liking what level I was angry. Yeah, I bought steel from e-supply. You know, now my pre-manufactured part, like my parts of my bicycle.
Okay.
Then supply only to sell me e-rim without my spokes. And I told the supply I need it like by Friday.
Yeah.
Because I'm equal Friday, only on the next Friday, while customer leaned on the other side. Just because in Korea, then even maybe understood the Excel, then because they were like even dropping a call in my ears, like
Yeah, they do that, the suppliers, and if remember you pay them. We had a challenge, I think it was last month with the starters. So what we do, we pay the companies in Joburg, and normally the people that I communicate with, they are also white. So now I felt like they wanted to communicate because previously the person who was placing our orders was a white person. And now that we've changed, now that I need more black people to get involved in the business, and then we started doing it ourselves. And then I felt like we're being sabotaged in a case because now the first order came, it was wrong. So it was late, number one. Two, when it got to the mine, it was wrong. But then they gave us grace. And now, and then the second one that gave us a headache, everything was now wrong. We corrected it before. We sent emails that this was done, that was not done right. And then our client complained. And then we said, no, you can bring the stuff back, we'll fix it. But then we said, okay, they managed to fix it themselves. But then now we don't make the same mistakes. Now we ordered 5 starters. And then they were late. I had to push, I had to get involved myself, leave everything that I was doing, stop doing all the marketing and get involved to make sure that this order comes. It came, and then we were in a hurry. I think the stuff came here, we stored them here at the incubators workshop. In the morning, because I had to focus on the other things I couldn't do while I was pushing for the order, and then they were delivered. When we got to the mine, all of them were wrong. So I felt like we're being sabotaged, and that's when I filmed. Honestly, I filmed with those people. I didn't take it lightly, because I even said it, that maybe it's because I'm black, you're not taking me seriously.
Wow.
So what must we do so that you guys can take our business seriously? Because our clients are complaining. We cannot give the wrong stuff to our clients. So that's when we actually decided, no, we're no longer going to outsource this, because now that's when I realized, even within the company, there's 2 of my guys who knows how to fix the stuff. So now we're going to be starting to do them.
It was a blessing in disguise.
It was a blessing in disguise. We lost the money, but then now we're going to be doing that. We corrected them ourselves. We didn't take them back to the supplier. We bought the other components and then fixed the mistake, and then sent it. They passed them. So now we're no longer going to use them. They lost the business from us.
Yeah. I think the other thing that can becomes a problem is that maybe you're a woman. Remember, we are taken for granted when we are women in business. We tend to be placed to a space whereby they think that our mind are low-minded, therefore we cannot go for higher fruits. So then, if ever you are a woman, you have to show your capability and your accountability together with the responsibility in order for your business to be able to flourish.
Yeah, this patriarchy thing is actually an issue. You know, when I touch that one, I'm telling you, this room will be another room. Because it's actually, I give it another name. This patriarchy is actually really something that needs to be looked into. Because now we looked as people that we are inexperienced. Because you're a woman, you can't do it better. Because you're a woman, there's a man.
But then now we believe that you guys are there to actually rescue the women.
For me, you know what I'm picking up out of this? You know, we deal with these entrepreneurs almost on a daily basis. But I normally preach one message. But me, I believe in us building our own economy, especially as the black society. It's very critical that we start to trade black. And you starting to trade black, it means that you must trust a black product. Because even if Zenita goes and buys a particular product, you'd say, no, but Van der Merwe is selling the product at this price. And when Puleng is selling this very same product, Zenita would rather go and buy from Van der Merwe than Puleng. Because because it is sold by Van der Merwe, it's original, but because it's sold by Puleng, it's now fake. So now that way it's that we need to fix the way we think. We need to start to build an economy based on us as the black community. If you're talking about CNC steel, I remember at some point you went and bought a material from a black-owned hardware. It was 10%, 20% cheaper than CNC steel. But because you believe that CNC steel is
because of the name.
No, it was not the people on my side. Because it's near me.
Yeah, no, I'm just saying you'd be surprised. And that's how Jewish operate. That's how they operate. They build their own economy. That's how Indians operate. They build us as the black community. No, instead of us coming together, build an economy, an ecosystem that is there for us. We end up wanting to show off in terms of even brands that we wear.
Yeah. I think it's very unfortunate that you guys are going through all of this, especially these challenges that you've highlighted in terms of the SMME COVID Relief Fund, the white supremacy, all of these barriers to entry within the market. But today I think that as much as we spoke of the challenges, I'd like us now, when we continue, for you guys to say the good, you know. But I mean, so I'd like us to start sharing that as well, to inspire those that are at home who still want to start businesses or who are in business facing hard times, to just understand that, yeah, the challenges will be there, but then there's also some cream. You know, you're just going to give us that highlight. But this is where we're going to end it for now, and thank you for tuning in. Bye-bye.